Hello everyone, friends, Mozart here. In this video, I will show and provide, right here specifically, the entry point. And I will show what I think about the current price, that very signal. The signal looks as follows. Let's start by talking about my short position. I repeat, the short position, for the 25th time, does not concern short-term trading. In the short term, it's only long, here. With the short position, I am protecting my table. Well, the medium-term longs that I have been accumulating. #table in the Telegram channel. By the way, on Binance, yesterday, we perfectly hit my last limit order in short at 94,900, but on Bybit, we didn't. I trade on Bybit, so the last one is still relevant, unfortunately. This one here. 3 out of 4 of my positions are in short. I remind you, the stop trigger is $104,000. The condition for exiting with a loss is the closing of the daily candle above the mark of $104,000. So, I like it, and I see a fairly strong signal in this movement. That is, according to the indicators on the 4-hour chart, we have reached the 80th index on the RSI. This is really strong. It's a very strong signal. However, there appeared a small divergence on the hourly chart, which might take some time to resolve. Objectively, what often happens is this. How are these divergences resolved on the hourly chart? Either we gradually drift down, 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 and then do this, standing here for a while. There, it is completely resolved 100%. First option. Second option, the hourly divergence transitions into a 4-hour divergence. We move here, and then do the same. Either we stop at the pullback here, or we continue to go lower and stop somewhere in this zone. There will be 2 zones, in case we more or less go higher from the current levels, closer to 100. 2 options, as these formations most often work, after such a breakout. Considering the fact that I don't obviously know which of these options will work out, for now, I will set the following limit orders for long. You can see them on the screen. First, 88,800. The average correction level, but if we suddenly start sliding down from the current levels, we might go. There are a bunch of channels here, above which we went without a retest. This orange channel, this blue channel, in short, we haven't retested them. We just broke through with a stick and that's it, and off we went. We can descend here. We might just miss it, we might reach it, or we might break through and return back. So, I'll place it somewhere in the middle now. This is the area of the retest of this white 200 moving average. The first limit order is 88,800. Remembered, placed, it's already set for me. But again, I'm not convincing you of anything. I'm just saying what I'm doing, right? You do as you wish. If you're following my signals, then, look, here's the second limit order. For the retest of this entire zone, a reasonable limit order is 85,300. If both limit orders are executed, my average entry will be somewhere in the middle, around 86, 8 and 9, so the average entry will be somewhere here. Stop. What will the stop be, in this case? Red line. Let's also look at the horizontal volumes. Well, obviously, our stop should be somewhere lower. Well, alright, just kidding. It will be right here. I assume, yes. This low, which, from my point of view, was the bottom. I've mentioned this repeatedly. Mentioned it repeatedly. Even a bit higher, probably somewhere like this. I'll place it 75, 100, like this. From the average entry, our stop on the pullback is approximately a trigger of 13.7%. I set the take profit at approximately 199, 100. For this entire position, I take 1 standard lot. For now, 1 standard. That is, half in each limit order. Not double, not triple, but standard. 1 SP, so-called standard position. All set. The stop trigger is also 75, 100. If any candle closes below the mark of 75, 100, I close the trade at a loss. Moreover, this short that I will accumulate, where I plan to close it, if we go into a correction, of course. I plan to close it Well, either partially or more than half in this zone. I plan to partially offload the short, well, at least half of this short. From my point of view, what have we drawn here? What has the price drawn? This block, from which we went upwards. This final recovery impulse. Not even this final mark. I'm taking a lot of leeway here, but this is the final block. This block. The price must not go below it. Below this block. That is, roughly speaking, it must not close and remain below the mark of $82,800. If we see this, like this, then this entire pattern will be a false breakout. And in this case, we might be facing a new low. And if we hit this new low, considering there has already been almost a double test of the annual moving average here, well, unfortunately, we are unlikely to see anything good in the near future. I'm just telling it like it is. For now, I'm not considering this scenario. I'm just explaining the logic of my work, the logic of actions. The exit on the daily and 4-hour chart. I've already mentioned the strength of the exit. On the daily chart, the exit is also decent, but not the strongest. Not the strongest. So here, yes, there is still room for correction. It's exactly the same picture. We either move or make another push upwards and then come back here. The first point of correction, or here. The second point of correction. The first option, either we gradually slide from the current position, enter and move here. There. Both options offer growth, still. Right now, while I think right now that the market has turned, I don't know what will happen in a month. I cannot give you forecasts about what will happen in a month and, like a fool, stick to these forecasts. If, in my view, the market changes, for example, in a week, I don't work like that. I have to turn around, change my approach, adapt to the market. But right now it looks like this, as I'm telling you. Therefore I will stick to what I see right now. If the situation changes, we'll change the picture. If it doesn't change, we'll stick to this picture. This is the only working rule of trading. If you, like a complete idiot, stick to one specific scenario, as everyone wants from me, well, alright, not everyone. That's a bit much. Many want from me. We'll just end up losing money. Why am I not losing them? Look, all the recent trades, in the general channel, there wasn't a single losing one. Well, alright, except for one, which I quickly covered with a double long. Why? Because I adapt to the market, rather than keeping, in my head, just one scenario. It's impossible. That's not how the market works. It doesn't move like that. In general, a small cry from the heart. Well, alright, and now this scenario is relevant. Moreover, I think that this closed figure, already closed, on good volume, well, not the best, but above average, and the candle is full-bodied, beautiful candles. I already mentioned the target for this figure in the previous video. Here it is, the 100. The 100 is the target for this figure. How will the price get there? Will it go there with the current flow? Or will it slide down now, linger a bit and then head there? It doesn't matter. The target for this figure is the 100. Is there a guarantee that we will definitely work out this figure? Well, that is, there are no options. The price will go to $100,000. There is no such guarantee, but with a higher degree of probability, such figures, within this kind of intertwining of all the moving averages, when we break through the 200, twice, falsely, test the annual, exit on such volume, it often works out. Not 100%, but much more often. What do I need to do when there is a scenario that works out much more often than another? Stick to that scenario. Makes sense, doesn't it? So, I stick to it. There are no guarantees, but there are no other options either. From my point of view, that's it. From the current levels, I'm not going long. Well, I don't see the point. I'm actually shorting here. In this zone, I'm taking on shorts. That's it. And in this range, I will be working now. But I'll repeat, short, only on the condition if you have something to protect. Altcoins, which are now also slowly recovering. If you don't have altcoins, especially medium-term, spot ones with very low leverage, and you hold them for a long time. No matter which ones. If you have something to protect, consider this short. It's a good idea within the current market. If there's nothing to protect, skip this short. Because if we disregard that I have something there, somewhere, this is not a short market. Not for shorting now. It's a long market, and here you need to look for an entry point, for a long, not a short. There you go. Well, and on the weekly, here's the line. It will be incredibly good if Bitcoin holds above this line for the week. What will happen then? Here's the trend. Victory of Trump. Then Trump messed things up for everyone. 2. Break. Right here, we broke this trend. 1, 2, 3. Updated. Now the breaking point is reversed here, and here we are trying to break it back. Well, that's it. This is a double bottom with a beautiful retest of the annual moving average if buy to take. The goal here is generally to return to the ATH, but we are waiting to see how this week closes. The main thing is to close above the mark of 88,750, the line of retest. By the way, it is. That is, why am I waiting for this retest? This way we will go down there or go higher, then come down like this. It doesn't matter. This retest is what I'm waiting for now. Of this mark, the price should be slightly lower to retest it. But also, all attention is on the week. If we close above, we will most likely go again here and, most likely, surpass the ATH in whatever way possible. The main thing is to close above the red line for the week, like this. We'll move around and then go like this, or we pass like this. We'll do this as well if we close above here, and then we'll go like this. It doesn't matter how. If we close above, we'll break the trend and most likely update the ATH this year. But we wait for Sunday and see how the candle closes on Sunday. Candle on Sunday, that's it. This is the condition for knowing what will happen next and what to do next. Not what will happen next, but what to do next. So, in fact, here it is. 2 limit orders. For average entry, stop, take 1 standard position for both limit orders. Thank you all for your attention. This was Mozart. Have a good day, and bye everyone.